Okay, Adam, I'm here today. I just got home. It's raining. I'm going home to spend time with my family. So here's the scoop. The next phase of this. Can you see me? All right. So the next piece of this puzzle is that there's lots of different market segments: remodeling, restoration, home flippers, and kitchen restoration, single-family new construction, and restoration, single-family remodelers, and home flippers, right? They all do the same thing. They all work on a single-family residence. Now, the difference is that the difference is circumstance. An environmental change is going to cause a tornado, and it's going to wipe roofs out, or there's going to be, like we had here in Louisville, and like you guys had last year, you had a hurricane, so there's absolutely outrageous amounts of flooding. Everybody's sump pump floods at once. Everybody's got basements that need to be cleared out, right? So it's a spontaneous, huge demand on labor. In those circumstances, the most important thing to judge a restoration company by is their reputation. If you go with a smaller contractor, they're less likely to deal with the repercussions in an acute need circumstance, such as a flood, a hurricane, or whatever. Now, home flippers and single-family new construction builders are very similar in that they both do most of their work when the home is not occupied. Okay, so in those circumstances, it's difficult to go back on either one of those contractors, the flipper, or if you purchase the home and it doesn't meet code. It's really difficult. So again, reputation. Number 2, home flippers versus remodelers, right? In my opinion, the number one question to ask a remodeler is, how many employees do you have? If someone who does interior single family home renovations, the difference between a remodeler and a home flipper is that the remodeler does it while you live in it, okay? So if you are going to live in it during the process, the remodeler needs to have incredible people skills, okay? To lead you through the process. Problems are going to arise. It's not if, it's when. Everybody's home settles, ages, creaks, and whatever differently over time. Now, a home flipper doesn't have to deal with that because they don't want to deal with people. They specifically leverage a home, then they sell it. So, in a market like we have right now, real estate's going crazy. So home flippers can get away with all kinds of shortcuts and still demand a premium for what that they do. So, which brings me to my point of this video. I love remodelers. I love working for kitchen and bath remodelers. They're smart, they're people oriented, they're industrious, they're creative, and there's very, very few really good ones. So I love working for them. They tend to show up. I have a few of them. One of the pages is Wendy Wood. She's one of my recommended remodelers. There's another guy, I'm trying to get him to do a video like that as well. So these differences, home flippers and remodelers, restoration companies, and new build, but also single family new construction and home flippers, they're very similar in certain ways and they're very different in others. And my favorite in rank order is remodel, home flippers, restoration. I love working for restoration. I've got a couple of them that I work for and they rely on me, and I love that feeling of working my ass off to get them to happy. I love that. Being an invisible part of the crew, I love it. But they're usually in such a goddamn hurry, I can't have that over the dumpster conversation with them to develop a relationship, other than just being Johnny on the spot for them. Remodelers are really sophisticated. I can make a mistake, we can work it out, no big deal. We get to talk, there's like a relationship there. Home flippers are really fucking cheap, and new build is even cheaper, and they're less sophisticated, in my opinion, because they don't have to deal with the home 20 years after they've made mistakes. And I think that really, really is the separating factor between a remodeler and a new build, is their people skills and their skill at building science, and working with the hard restrictions that they have. An old building, someone else's budget, someone else's temperament, a restricted time frame, and they have to lead people primarily while managing employees. And remodelers, they're incredible. I love them. All right, thanks, man. I appreciate all the work you guys are doing.